What is up? Welcome in to the Early Edge. I am your host, Alan Bell. And you know what? We're not even going to jump in the intro because we have a phenomenal show lined up for you, and we're not going to waste any time getting to it. You see the stars of the show. And I've got to say, I wanted to get us, excuse me, at least an extra 15 seconds because we got M Squared in New York City with Jay Smooth. All right, so who ended up buying drinks last night? How did it go? Give us the rundown here.
Yeah, I ended up paying, but it wasn't because of the bet. We were both on the same side of the bet, but I was going to be frustrated if Iowa did not end up covering the spread in that basketball game last night. So I was threatening to make Jason pay, but all is well in the world.
It worked out. It definitely worked out. We might have gotten invited to a wedding. We'll see how it all goes. It was a good time though.
Yes. Yeah.
literally.
Part 2. Do it.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
I love it.
But no,
All
it was a great time.
Man, good. We're so glad. Like when we saw that tweet last night, man, it was fantastic. All right, jumping into the storylines that can affect the betting lines for today. M Squared, you're literally on the pulse of this in the NBA. We've got some COVID news breaking. What do you got?
Yeah, the Charlotte Hornets got a number of players in health and safety protocols, starting with LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier, Jalen McDaniels, and Mason Plumlee. Mason Plumlee had been missing some time for other reasons recently as well. So it's interesting that even though he wasn't playing, he's still come down with it, and this is a huge deal for this team. Obviously, you removed LaMelo, but Terry Rozier is also a pretty heavy usage guy in that offense and is playing bigger minutes now at this point. So huge deal in terms of the ball handling for that team.
Yeah, that is big news. Everyone, make sure to keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on the NFL COVID as well with the extra testing that they've been doing. Just a really good time to make sure you pay attention and get every piece of information before you put down a bet. Now, in regards to some totals, Micah, there's some weather coming in the NFL tomorrow. Talk to us. What are you seeing?
Yeah, I think there's some type of weather pretty much every outdoor NFL stadium except Miami and Los Angeles. Seattle's going to be brutal. It's going to be very cold, windy, and lots of rain. And so that total there, we're looking 46.5 to 45. The one that stands out the most is probably Chicago. So we got Kyler Murray returning back for the Cardinals, probably Hopkins as well. Game time decision, Kingsbury says, but the weather there has dropped that total from 46 to 42.5. Rain, 47 degrees, 17 mile per hour winds. Not exactly the type of comeback Murray would like to have after sitting out the last 4 weeks. And also in New Jersey, also with the Eagles and Jets, check the weather on that. That's all I got for that.
No, that's a great point as well. Make sure everybody pay attention to that tonight, tomorrow, and even Monday night with the Patriots and the Bills because we see that total. Yeah, we see that total dropping as well. All right, jumping right into the picks today. Jay Smooth, you got 3 plays from college basketball. Hit us with it, buddy. What do you got?
Yes, sir. So, all right, today we are going to be playing with a couple lines that are moving a little bit. So I really wanted to get this UMass line out. It was at about -3.5 15-20 minutes ago. It is unfortunately plummeting hard. It's at 4.5, 5 now at multiple books. I don't really love it. You're really going to want at least 3.5. Like 4 is the highest I'd go, but I still wanted to talk about it. Harvard's lost to URI recently. I have this one right around -6 for UMass, and this is going to be a strong home game, so maybe include them in the parlay on the money line. But if you can't get -3.5 or so, but I won't spend too long on that since it's moving. But next game is going to be Western Illinois -13 versus U10 Martin. So model makes this one 18 points. You're getting a big 5-point edge on this. This should be a pretty solid route. Western Illinois 5-1 against the spread, has covered both of their games at home so far. Tennessee Martin actually has been a little sneaky, 4-2 against the spread, but I just think this Western Illinois team has looked good and should be able to get this one close to 20. A bunch of projection models have this at 20, so expect a pretty big romp. Grab that one on for the favorite. And then last, I'm going to take Santa Clara at Louisiana Tech. Santa Clara has been great this year. We've all been watching how dominant they can look at times. This is going to be a home game. I have them at -6 points against Louisiana Tech. I just think they get this one done. They've been well coached and they look like a good unit. So grab Santa Clara.
Nice work. Nice work. Now, Micah, you've got a basketball play for us, but not college basketball. You're looking at the NBA. What do you got?
Yeah, the NBA. Nice spot here. betting against the Blazers at home, which is something you don't normally do, but Damian Lillard is out for his third straight game. The last game was embarrassing for the second time this season. They lost by 30 points or more. Without Lillard, it was a disaster. It was at home. It was only their second home loss this season. Now, the Celtics, they played last night at Utah, and I usually like staying away from teams that come out of Denver or Utah because the altitude plays weird games. We've all flown there and come back and felt a little different. But in this instance, I'm okay with the Celtics here. I got Jaylen Brown coming back. The Celtics last night, by the way, 52% shooting, probably should have won the game, played better, but did not shoot better. The Jazz shot 56% and 52 from three-point range and still took them to the brink. It was a very close game. Good effort by the Celtics. I expect that to continue. And past performances this season, this is the fifth time they've had back-to-back games. They're 3-1 straight up and against the spread on the back end of the first four. So I feel pretty good about the Celtics tonight. They've trying to build on something. Jaylen Brown comes back. So I expect the Celtics to win there. And by the way, they've won 5 of the last 7 at Portland, which I don't think many road teams can say, especially in the Eastern Conference. And that includes last year as well. So go Celtics.
Nice little Chick-fil-A nugget of the day right there from you, Mike. I like it. I like it. All right, so M Squared live from the heart of New York City. And you know what? This is my favorite time of the week every single week. So M Squared, I'm going to get right out of your way, buddy. What you got?
All right, man. Let's take a first quarter under. You know, that's what we do on Saturday mornings. We're going to the Big 12 Championship, Oklahoma State and Baylor, under 9.5 here, coming back at plus money, plus 105. It's a good price here at this point. Obviously, you're wanting that 10, but I think it's a good number here. Both of these defenses are elite. I make Oklahoma State the number 2 defense. I make the Baylor Bears the number 18 defense in all of college football. Both of these teams are going to want to try and stop the run. The only thing that we could see a little different in this game is Oklahoma State might try to air it out just a little bit more, as this Baylor defense is very stout against the run. They're a little vulnerable in the pass game. However, if they're not on the same page at all, does lead to some 3-and-outs. We know Baylor's going to milk the clock. We know that they're going to struggle to move the football and score points. So I do think that if we see a lot of early movement of the ball, I think it's going to lead to some shorter drives in terms of the scoring. I think they're going to stall in the red zone. I love this number here at under 9.5.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. As Coach says, grab your paper, grab your pencil, take a look at the recap, and it looks glorious. M Squared, Baylor, Oklahoma State, first quarter under 9.5. Michael Roberts is on the Celtics, minus 1.5. The Machine, Jay Smooth of Massachusetts, minus 3.5. Western Illinois, minus 13. Santa Clara. 3 plays from me today. I'm going, or for tomorrow in the NFL, I'm going with the Bengals minus 3. I think that their offensive approach, it's going to be a dream scenario in terms of play calling, mixing up the run and the pass, taking advantage of that porous Chargers rush defense. We're going to go with the Raiders minus 1 at home against Washington. Tough to fade Washington. They're playing really good complementary football right now, but I'm interested to see what happens if the Raiders dictate the tempo of the game as opposed to Washington and their 11-play, 9-minute drives. Also, we're going to go with the Rams minus 13, a ton of points to lay with a team that really, quite frankly, has lost 3 straight, hasn't really played well all season. However, I think that this team is in desperate need of a punching bag, and the Jaguars are going to give it to them. They're going to put pressure on Trevor Lawrence, and it is going to be a blood-in-the-water type game for Los Angeles. This locker room needs nothing more than a blowout win, and I think in this position, they're going to want to give it to him, and Sean McVay is not going to take his foot off the gas. Lastly, the AB3 today, a nice humble little plus 214. We're going to go Georgia money line. We're going to go Kent State money line, and we're going to go San Diego State money line. Now, as you guys know, on Saturdays, we also have our recap from Mike and the boys on Wednesday with the college football mega preview show, and I want to get this on the screen for you as well. I won't read through every single pick, but you can see them all up here. The guys, Mike and the boys, they are 56.8% against the spread, and we're going to have one final show. In terms of all the bowl games, the playoffs, we'll have that in a couple weeks once we kind of get everything set up and have everybody ready to go. So that's all we have for you today. There's nothing really else left to do except kind of hit these picks, man. So everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Let's all have a great day. Let's crush these bets, and we'll see you live tomorrow morning. Thank you so much.
Do you want best bets in your feed every single day? All you have to do is hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all things Early Edge.